Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I am so excited to show you my little old kitchen. Just kidding. It's actually a big new kitchen and the pantry is something my dreams were made of. A huge thank you to Home Aglow for sponsoring today's video. So come along with me. I'm gonna give you a tour of the whole pantry and what we're doing with our food, how we have a working pantry that we are able to use and cook from every day and are able to store all of our appliances for our large family. We're a family of 13, now 14. My oldest son just got married. He and his wife do not live with us, but we are feeding extras all the time. So there's 12 here every day. And we are used to cooking big, and our appliances will show that. I'm gonna show you every little nook and cranny and how we're making the most use of our space. We've only been in here 2 weeks, but this has been absolutely dreamy. If you are new here, we have been living with our large family, and even my son for some of the time in a much smaller home. It was 1,700 square feet, so certainly not the smallest that a family of 13 has ever lived in. But we have long, cold winters, and I have young adult children ages 20 all the way down to age 2. Oh, I guess she just turned 3. So as you can imagine, we needed some more space, and we were willing to do that because we wanted to leave the city life. We had a good sized home in the city, but we really wanted to live in the country. So we came out to the country. The house that we bought was on a large acreage. So we had a dream of building a bigger home to really suit our needs as a large family and hopefully to be here long term. So we tried to think way ahead because obviously our kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna leave the house too. And then hopefully come back with their spouses and their grandchildren. It's all very exciting. We entertain a lot too, so it's great. It's gonna be good for a long time at least. Let me show you around. Okay, I came back out to show you how much I love the slider door so that we can close it if it's a mess in there. If kids are baking and I just don't need to see all the mess that they left or whatever it is. But there's a little button here you can push to get it out of there. I love that. My dad found us that ladder, which has been extremely helpful because as you'll see, we have really high shelves. So let me start at the bottom. At the bottom, I have my big buckets. I only have a few big buckets in here of food storage. I decided to keep the largest ones upstairs in my working pantry that I get in all the time instead of using the smaller containers I was using at the other house. Containers about this size that I was having to refill all the time. So it's so nice to be able to have all these adjustable shelves and be able to get in whatever I need. So I have honey here, our raw honey, and behind it is sugar. We have hard white wheat berries that we get into all the time and white flour. And then we have a couple of apple cider vinegars down the middle. We got some pickles and Worcestershire sauce. I have 4 of those. That seems like a lot probably, but it really helps to flavor things. We have a couple of vinegar there, but I definitely need some more because we're going through a lot of it right now. We're dealing with our hard water. I think we're gonna get a reverse osmosis system for the whole house. A lot of you recommended that too, so we could slow down on the vinegar soon, but I use that for canning and other things, cleaning as well. We just picked up this microwave yesterday, which is exciting. We built this shelf to be able to fit appliances in it and actually run them in it. For now, we're just running the microwave in it. So there's a plug right behind it, which is awesome. It's something that the kids can reach that are old enough to microwave their own things. We have 2 crock pots. That's what I've always had. Love that. I use them often. And there's a popcorn maker back there. That's our pork rinds. There's 6 of them deep. And then let me get my ladder out so I can give you a real tour all the way up. This thing is so cool. Even my young 6-year-old and I think my almost 5-year-old can get it out by themselves and fold it up and put it away. So it helps when they're emptying the dishwasher. But up here is our bean shelf. We've gotten dengu, black beans, pinto beans, white corn back there, which we run through our grinder, our mill, to mill it to make a Kenyan dish called ugali. And we have a couple things of popcorn, white beans, and garbanzo beans. I have not canned for a while because we have been in a crazy season. The crazy season involved traveling overseas with our large family for a month and then coming home to plan a wedding in 3 months and then having a wedding on our property that was in the middle of construction and then going straight from that pretty much to moving. It has been a wild season. No canning has been happening, but I'm so excited to just get settled in here and do those like homesteading things that bring me a lot of joy. learning about homesteading things and doing them have brought me so much joy, and knowing that I'm feeding my family well, making my own convenience foods. Oh, I love it so much, and I can't wait to get back to it. Up here I have a big container of lentils as well. I haven't used these much, but I was craving them, and my mom used to cook with them a lot, so I'm excited to do some lentil stews soon. The top of my pantry, besides the lentils, and all the way down the top, is filled with freeze-dried food. Most of them are this brand. I do have one other brand, just because me is hard to find, and I apparently found it for a good deal in another brand on Amazon. But I watched for a long time, whenever any of these cans went more than 50% or more off, I would just stock up on them. And so I have about 4 cans in a lot of different things. Not a ton of protein. I think I have a few things like peanut butter powder and some chicken, but I do have some things. And these freeze-dried foods should last like 30 years, I think they say. We've tried one of the soups before. It was okay. It will definitely keep you alive for a long time, so it was nice to get that. It really just is the emergency food, but we will take one of the fruits once in a long while and just use it for snacks, and the kids love it. It's very good. I do not have a freeze dryer. I'm one of the few people in this world, I feel like, that does not have a freeze dryer, and I'm okay with that. For now, I did not have the space before, and I didn't want to do it until I knew I would really, really use it, so maybe one day in the future. Boy, guys, I forgot I have another light in this place. Can you believe it? It's dark outside. But we did under counter lights as well. I told you it's dreamy. I don't want this video to just seem like, wow, look at me. I'm just showing you because a lot of people are interested in how we store things, what we store things, and so many of you are so excited with us. But I will tell you that every single day, Solo and I look at each other like, can you believe that we live here? It is such a dream, and we are extremely grateful to God, He is our provider, and man, it is beyond and above what we ever thought we would really be living in, so we're very excited. Anyway, I'm showing you out of my excitement, so just be excited with me. If it makes you feel bad, you can go somewhere else, but I hope it makes you excited too. Maybe it will be an encouragement to somebody that something they dreamed of that could never be possible in their own minds might happen one day. You know, it happens. Dreams come true. So this next area, I have some noodles. I haven't quite perfected it, guys. I got cocoa butter, chia seeds, brown rice, flax seeds, some of this stuff I've had for quite a while. And in this shelf, I have a lot more snacks. We have nuts back there, dried apples, dried mangoes, raisins. There's a couple of things of raisins. See, there's one of those freeze-dried foods we opened, bananas. But our chocolate chips are gone. We need more, we need more. And then down here, these are foods, I want it kind of at eye level because they had gotten lost in my other pantry that was just a big closet. And I want to make sure it got eaten up. This is some homemade hamburger helper that I used to make all the time. Oh, there's a random box of noodles that probably should go to the top with the others. But there's some lasagna noodles. I don't know. This is a work in progress. I want to eat through some of that and then kind of figure out how we're doing that. This is my tortilla shelf. These are our random cans. You know, does everybody have random cans like evaporated milk? I don't know. Some of them were given to us. Green beans, because I don't buy these cans regularly. Condensed sweet milk, condensed sweetened milk. I think sweetened condensed milk. I'll say that right eventually. I think I bought that after Japan because we ate it a lot there and it was so fun and I wanted to show the kids, and we ate one can and kind of forgot about it because once again it got stuck in the back of a big pantry. I do love that these shelves are not too deep so that won't happen to me again. That I can really see everything. Why I had all those cans of chicken noodle soup. I know I was given them because I've never bought them in my life. But yeah, the kids need to eat through some of that. And this is from a while ago. It was for a party and we had a couple of them and we didn't need that one. So that's the situation. You didn't need to know all that. Laksa is one of my favorite meals of all times. It's a Singaporean dish. My dad used to bring these packets for us every time he went to Singapore. So they are on my subscribe and save. I'm getting 2 of them a month suddenly. And I'm excited about it. We ate a few of them already. It's just been a couple months and they are fabulous. They are not healthy in any way. But you kind of make a chicken, oh look, you can see it. It's noodles. Put an egg on top. I usually make it with chicken and green beans in there. It is so good. I can't even tell you. Man, I'm getting hungry thinking about it. These cans of chicken, we really stocked up after 2020, and these cans of chicken were a result. They are 3 deep. They're really large cans, as you can see. I won't replace these when they're gone, because since I bought them, I started canning my own chicken, and we like home canned chicken much better. It's just more tender, not as dry, I would say. But we are eating through these. I make chicken salad with them a lot. That's my favorite thing to make with it. And I use a whole can for one because we are a lot of people. So when we use that up, we will repurpose the shelf. I've moved shelves around a lot. I have some extra shelves, as you can see here. There's some stacked there, and I have some of this size too. And so I will just keep making it work the best that it could work for us. Down here is all our coconut oils. Yes, it's a lot, but just 8 of them, I guess. But we go through coconut oil pretty fast. I make my granola with it. We cook with it a lot. And then this is ginger paste that I do get from Amazon once in a great while. I do like to have kind of 3 around. We cook with it a lot. We cook a lot of Indian food. We cook a lot of Kenyan food. Down here we have some noodles. I do have a pasta maker. Judah's borrowing it right now. That's my oldest son. He loves pasta and he's experimenting with it, but I do, in this season, it was hard to pull it out and use it, so it's nice to have some noodles on the shelf anyway. I haven't quite figured out how to make homemade pasta and store it well ahead of time, and so once I get that going, I would probably stop buying pasta and I'll just do like batch days of making pasta. But for now, I really like these noodles, these organic noodles that I'm getting. And we have some of that here. And then this is our potato section. We just use these cheap boxes that we've had forever and put all our potatoes down here so that hopefully they work well there and don't go bad. Up there we got some Thai noodles. That was more miscellaneous noodles. See, I just need to get my noodle shelves together. How have we had time to even move all this stuff in here and do what we have done? A few months ago, we went back to having a cleaner come to our house more regularly. Going back to having a cleaner come regularly has helped so much. We have had a great experience with HomeAglow, and it feels so good to get cleaning off our plates. HomeAglow is a top-rated home service platform that is dedicated to making your home clean and tidy. And the best part is you get to support cleaners that are local in your area. So you just go to HomeAglow's website and you're able to browse through cleaners in your area. You can pick based on their ratings and you can see pictures of them even. It also lets you choose the time that you're looking for, which I've done both close to the time I need and I've done it farther out, and I've been able to get someone every time. They also have a Forever Clean membership if you know that you want to use it more regularly, and that saves you $30 an hour on all future cleanings. I absolutely love knowing that my next cleaning is already booked. With a very busy household and a very busy season of our lives, it's so nice to just have it on the schedule. So you can get your time back this fall too by going to homeaglow.com/tribeofmany or scan this QR code to get your first 3 hours of cleaning for just $19. That's an excellent deal from them. All right, let's get back to the tour. Over here we have our protein powder. I really love this bone broth protein. It's the best protein powder I have ever found, because it's just grass-fed beef bones. That's it. And there's no other ingredients in it. I love that. It has a slight flavor, but it's not much at all. And I honestly cannot tell. When I put it in the smoothies for the kids, none of them have ever been able to tell. And it's just a great way to add protein. I get this off of Amazon once in a great while. When I have extra money in my grocery budget, it goes to Amazon. Usually food on Amazon, subscribe and save stuff. And I subscribe and saved all the food I get there. This is pineapple juice that I use to make kombucha. And I would like to fill this shelf more with it. I did not realize that these didn't have to be refrigerated because I've always gotten them on a pickup order and I felt like they were always cold. So I assumed they had to be refrigerated. The other day I went in to Walmart at my grocery haul time and I had to walk around to find it, and it took me forever because I kept looking in refrigerated sections. It does not need to be refrigerated. It's 100% pineapple, nothing else. So I think that's why I thought that. That's not the case. So I love to use the space I have to determine how much I store, and we do make a whole lot of kombucha. When I'm in the mode of it, I keep going and going and going. And we have tons of bottles of it. So I will probably get eventually 6 of those here. These are some almond butters I've had for quite a while. I need to make sure they're not expired because we haven't used almond butter in a while. That happens. Does it happen in your house? Applesauce. That is something that we were storing in our basement at the other house, and the kids are like, we forgot how much we love applesauce, and now they are consuming it very, very quickly. So I will keep that shelf full of it. We have canned pumpkin options over here. We don't use that nearly as much, so we might do more of the shelf for applesauce soon. And here's some of our other oils. Avocado oil, I probably will fill that space with more avocado oil. We got 4 on that side and then 1 here, because I no longer buy mayonnaise and I use avocado oil to make my mayonnaise, and it really does use a lot. We go through it often. We go through it a lot. Extra virgin olive oil, I have 3 of these large things here and 1 back there, and I probably will just stick to 3 as we eat through that. But yeah, more like 8 avocado oil, I think. I'm always adjusting and readjusting like how fast we go through things. And if you're like us, you'll know that sometimes seasons change and you don't care for things as much, or you get tired of them. For instance, our fish, we have not eaten a lot of tuna or salmon for a long time. And so we have, that's all kind of in this area. It's been in our basement, so we just kind of forgot about it, and nobody's really craved it, I guess. We have this true lime stuff here. I don't know what this is. And then random things, rice vinegar, red wine vinegar, extra balsamic. We have 1 on our stove, a Caro syrup, which we probably just use for pecan pie once a year. And then this is our soy sauce or liquid aminos. We got 4 of those, so we do go through that pretty fast. Here's our bacon bits too next to our fish. So this is our protein section along with that right there. Down here we got our maple syrups. We got a couple extra that were gifts, and we need to fill that all back up because we use maple syrup often. And yes, that's a lot of them. To fill it up would be 12 of them, but it lasts a long time, doesn't really go bad anytime soon, and I've never had one go bad. We use honey and maple syrup to sweeten a lot of things, and obviously you saw we buy our honey in the great big amounts. And then this is our jams and jellies, which is fun. I was just trying this new stuff from Azure Standard recently. We really like it. It's a little better quality. I don't can my own because I'm not there yet. Salsa. Everybody always asks me when they see this in person, why do you have so much salsa? Oh my word, let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then usually 18. Because every time we use salsa for a meal, we pretty much finish the whole thing. It's true, that's what happens. I love peanut sauce, a lot of my kids do too. I haven't had to buy it for a while because we just haven't been doing it quite as much. But yeah, that's really good. And this stuff came from Japan, but it's sriracha, basically. So it is sriracha, not basically, and love sriracha too. We got a few of those bottles. And then down here is our all-purpose flour. Oh, I think yeah, did I tell you that was on the other side? The other side over there is actually white rice and oats. I use this even more than our white rice and oats, the hard red wheat that I grind in our grain mill, and then the flour. So up here is our tomato section, and this is the first thing I stocked, and I tell you, every subcontractor that came in here was just laughing and saying, oh my goodness, I want to go shopping in your house. They were all so nice, and one gentleman told me that he grew up in a family of 6 kids, and he said my mother's pantries looked exactly like this. So that made me feel better and a little less like a crazy person. When you're surrounded with small families, a lot of the time you can start feeling like, am I a hoarder? But no, I am not a hoarder. And let me tell you why. Last night, Tori made spaghetti and she used, I think, 7 cans of tomato sauce. So if you think about that, it's not that much tomato sauce, right? These are 4 deep and there's 2 in each, so it's really 8 deep, I guess. But yeah, it looks like a lot. The tomato paste we use a lot for a Kenyan meal. Solo in his Kenyan meals uses a lot of crushed tomatoes. That we had found online, those good ones. Rotel, someone gifted us these and we keep forgetting to use them, but we need to. It looks so good, spicy pasta sauce. So just Solo and I will use those. They were for a date night at home, which we need to have one of these days. Diced tomatoes, we're a little low on. There's a couple old cans of enchilada sauce. I haven't used that for a while, so it's good to see that, and now it'll be a meal idea for me. And corn, we do love corn, so we need to restock a few of these little areas. We're trying to get in the habit of taking from the same side all the time so that we're always moving the food down. That's how it's our working pantry, and we're assuring that nothing goes bad. I do not like food waste at all, so I want to make sure that we're using things in good time and that we're moving them down, so we're always taking from the oldest and stocking on the other side. We have run out of mustard several times. Since I got married, I have not always had storage like this, but I always had a backup. Always. From the very beginning of our marriage, I realized, oh, I hate running to the store for one little thing. I want a backup of everything I can. But for some reason, I've never been good at making backups of mustard. So we got a couple of, these are the bulk size mustards, so they don't quite fit on that shelf I had designated. Here's some Dijon, which helps. Sometimes I put that in my mayonnaise. And then we are getting from Azure Standard another box of ketchup because we go through ketchup fast. So I like to have a lot of stock of that. We don't go through mustard that fast, but I think that's why I've never stocked it well, and then we end up using it all. Coconut milk, we do go through fast because we cook a lot of curries, and then coconut milk is so good in curries. And so all these size cans are 4 deep. And I love that I can make the shelf just that size. And here's our 2 pressure cookers. Yes, 2 pressure cookers. We actually use 2 often. I can't tell you how many times that I have had yogurt in a pressure cooker and I needed to make rice or potatoes or something else. And it is really nice. Chicken for dinner. You can have chicken for dinner and mashed potatoes going at the same time. I love it. I use them often. I do not have regret for 1 second having 2 pressure cookers, I'll tell you that. Okay, I gotta pull my ladder for this one because you need to see the craziness that happens in this house. We're Kenyan, and we're apparently Kenyan drinking snobs. I have some hibiscus tea up here. I think it's good for lowering blood pressure. I wanna get into drinking it more. Let me know if you do that. But then we have Kenyan tea. Those are Kenyan tea bags, the expensive, more expensive kind, like as in it's a couple dollars more per box. This is the cheaper kind that I like. This is the more expensive kind that so many others in this house like. And the Caricho Gold, oh my goodness. This is the loose leaf tea. Can you believe we have 3 kinds of Kenyan tea? And thank you to Amazon, that's where we get it all. But this tea I use a lot for my kombucha. It's so good. We have a little decaf that came from Grandma's house. It's good to have around when you have company. And then over here is our Kenyan coffees. And these we brought with us, or they were gifts. This one was a gift. Everybody brings us Kenyan coffee when they come from Kenya. Basically, that's the thing they bring us now, or Fanta, blackcurrant Fanta, because that's what we love so much and cannot get here. We have not been able to find Kenyan coffee except through our friend, which we do buy through him too. He has a business in Grand Island, Nebraska, and sends it around the nation. So we get it from him, or we get this stuff is because we just went to Kenya. So yeah, we are apparently drinking snobs. I don't really drink tea or coffee except for my kombucha that I make with that. But I kind of made this area a baking section, and I'm real happy with that. I've got baking soda here, powdered sugar, cocoa powder. This is brown sugar. We make our own, and obviously the jar is empty. Somebody needs to make another batch. But I did put the recipe here so the kids can easily, quickly do it themselves without even asking me, and they do it. They come when they're baking. Tori will just make another big batch of brown sugar. We got soft white wheat berries that we also put through our grinder. This is good for making pastries, where our hard white or hard red that we have wheat berries we make our bread with. And this is our Celtic sea salt, but I don't think it's Celtic. I think it's Redmond's Himalayan pink salt. It's new for us. It was a little cheaper than the other one we were buying, a lot cheaper. So I stocked up on this. This one doesn't have a label. My label maker just pooped out on me, but this one is coconut sugar. I used to buy coconut sugar often. I was really into not using refined sugars at all, but now we do use white sugar more, so we don't use the coconut sugar as much, but it still is a great replacement. We use it a lot of times in things we would use brown sugar for, especially in our oatmeal. It's great to sweeten oatmeal, and you know, anything else we put brown sugar in. But we do need to use it up because I don't think I'll buy it again because we're kind of over that phase. I don't know. Do you guys love coconut sugar? Let me know. So underneath that is a pass-through window, and one of our builders talked us into doing this. I didn't really think it was necessary. Originally I was gonna put a whole door here, and I realized I wanted more storage. I thought like walking groceries in, that's our garage right there. This is our mud room. You can't see it because the lights are out. I just thought, oh, you could walk groceries right in. And then I realized I bring all my groceries to the table and film them, but they said, no, think about it. I think you want it. So we did it. It didn't cost any more really because it was just the framers that put it in, the hole in. And it is awesome. I'll tell you, we bring in meat in from the freezers out there, put it here to thaw because I love thawing meat over here on my counter instead of right in my kitchen where meat is often thawing. So that's been helpful. If I have a bunch of dirty washcloths, I stick them here because my laundry room's right over there. And then I'll remember to grab them when I'm doing a load of laundry. Also, we have brought in a few little small things like a bag of fruit or bananas or something. And it's nice to just stick it here. So I know eventually when I'm not filming massive grocery hauls in my life, it will be very helpful, and I'm glad I did it. Just for the frozen meat alone, that stuff is cold and hard to walk all the way around. It's nice to just throw it in here. Okay, so down here we have more of our baking stuff. We have some gelatin and some random things like potato starch. I think my dad bought that for a recipe once. Yeah, citric acid, which I use to make cheese. I don't know, I guess it's not all baking. There's an extra cocoa powder, and this is some of my boys' creatinine, whatever stuff. Got a lot of baking powder here. Cornstarch, I need another one of those. Sunflower, lecithin, I use a lot in my breads, and Vital Wheat gluten with an extra one bag of that behind. And a scooper because we do have other food buckets in our storage, and we need to scoop that out sometimes. So I guess this area is not quite as much baking besides those things. And then there's powdered milk here, which I have more of that at the other house. I just realized that was one thing. We had not brought all of it over. I have not used that so much. It was more something I bought for emergencies, but I like to use the stuff that I have for emergencies too. So I was trying to think, is this even worth it? Will I need it ever? Will I use it? Well, turns out we have a homemade pancake mix and it uses powdered milk in it. And so that works good. We've been making it often. And we also make it for our hot chocolate, our homemade hot chocolate. This box is onions here. And we don't have that many right now. And that leads us to another section of the pantry here. This is our air fryer. We use it a lot, and I didn't want to put it in the shelves with the microwave because it puts off a lot of heat. And I think it will just mark up the shelves, and I didn't want that. So it stands here alone on the counter. We do really love this. It's an air fryer, but we got it because it was a toaster oven. So it just does all these things. Slow cooks and roasts and toaster oven. We've used it a lot. It's a little messy right now. And it toasts 6 pieces of toast at a time, which is dreamy when you have a lot of kids. My kids also love to air fry chicken in it, or they use the roast setting, I think. Chicken thighs, different things like that. My big boys especially. We got a few baking items here. That's our mullein that I need to make into tinctures or something. And up here, it's way away from the sun because the window's over here and over there, and it really doesn't get to that. But up here, I didn't know what to do with my canned items, my home canned items, and I could adjust these shelves a lot, I guess. But I realized I could use this cupboard. I know it's good to have home canned items in like dark, cool places. And I have all these windows in my pantry, and I don't want to get shades and just close them all the time. But I also know I'm fairly new to canning, just a few years in. I really enjoy it. There's 2 processes I believe in canning. One is to learn how to can, and another is to learn how to use the foods you can and use them regularly so they don't go bad as well. And I know myself, and I know that if they are in the basement and I have all this other food, I'm not going to be using them all the time. I wanted them somewhere where I could see them, and they are part of my decision making when we're making meals. I have forgotten about them before when I felt like we need a meal quick, and I've forgotten that we have home canned items just because they were in the basement. So for me, it's not awesome for them to be far away. I started actually in my last house, not this little house, but 18 months before that in the other house. And I didn't have a lot of storage there either, and I had them like under beds and in closets, to the top of closets. I had them all over the place. And yeah, it's harder to use them that way, I find. So I think this is a good solution to have them in my pantry. I've got water glassed eggs there. We've got a lot of meat on the top. There's carrots. I loved the carrots, by the way. I don't grow a lot, but I want to can good quality things when I do. So I bought this huge bag of carrots from Azure Standard last year and just canned up a bunch of carrots, and it's so nice to use them that way. And I can make like chicken soup or beef stew with them, and they're already soft. It's amazing. I love canning beans, meat. The carrots I've loved. I want to can potatoes. I've done it a few different times, just potatoes, and I haven't loved the result, but that would also be easy to throw into a soup. I like canning spaghetti sauce. That's the only tomato I've done so far, is spaghetti sauce a number of times. And I have some frozen tomatoes that I want to use for that soon here too. Here's a lot more meat. And then on this side, I have a little more. I have some of my broth. I'm low on broth right now, only 6 jars, and a few more jars of water glassed eggs back here. So these are just our farm fresh eggs that we saved whenever we got clean ones and water glassed them for the winter. There's some of our baking goods and slicers, mandolin slicers, things I don't use all the time, but I want to be able to get to easily. As you can see, there's an open shelf up there, which would help with my canning needs. I want to can a lot more than this. I would like to have a lot more canned than this. I would like to eventually like grow tomatoes and not be buying store-bought tomatoes and not be buying jam and not be buying a lot of things that have home canned items. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about the space. I really wanted open shelving for the food so that I could see it all and not just going through opening doors all the time. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have to use shades actually unless I'm doing the dishes and want a good view. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But as far as storage for now, I do have empty drawers. All my kitchen stuff is basically over here. And I have empty drawers, and some of them are smaller drawers, but I realized some of the things in bigger drawers I could actually move around and make space, and probably a couple big drawers that would help too. Let me start here. I've got some waffle makers and muffin and donut tins, a salad spinner, which is nice, so some coffee carafe we never use. I should get rid of. Basola told me, no, I'm gonna use that. And I love that container for storing, or not storing, but just getting a bunch of cut veggies ready for my kids, putting it out, and then you can put the lid on, put it in the fridge, and save it for another day, or fruit. But I haven't used it in 18 months because it was stored in my garage and I forgot about it. This stuff I don't always use all the time, and I have some cupboards in my island that have some more space, so I can move these out and have more canning room. In my drawers here, well, this is something. I don't think I've ever told you guys about this, but up here we have these trays, and when paper plates got really expensive a couple years ago, we liked using paper plates for lunch especially, sometimes breakfast even. It's just really nice when you have a big family, you're doing dishes constantly. And so we kind of slowed down from using them, and then some of you told us about these hot dog tray things that you can get, and they were much cheaper, but we were going through them too fast. And so I got these, and you just kind of push the paper in. It's like a deli sandwich, right? We get these on Amazon. They come just regularly, and they're very cheap. And these, of course, are reusable, the baskets. They were a little investment, but totally worth it. And so, like, Seth just wanted something, and someone had just done all the dishes. He wanted an apple all cut up, and it was big, and it was too much for him to carry. I just gave him one of these, and I don't feel bad about using these papers because they are very, very cheap. So that's been a great paper plate solution for us. It doesn't kind of replace quite everything. I don't use them when guests are over. I keep some good paper plates around for if we have a big parties and stuff, but that has been a wonderful addition, I guess. This is kind of a baking drawer. We got a spoon that's too big to fit anywhere. I think it came from Kenya. And this is some pasta stuff that some viewers have sent us, and I've used them a number of times for drying pasta, things like that. We got our measuring cups and, you know, that pastry thing that you need, the measuring spoons, all right here. Obviously, there's a lot of room in that drawer still. And then this is like mixers and, what do you call it? I don't use that very often. Food processor, that's what it is. This is pieces for my mixer, my Anchor and hand mixer, and just like different things. I don't know, random things. This is from KitchenAid stand mixer that I don't have anymore, but I have a lot of pieces for that were not broken, so I saved if in case I get one of those again. And just like a immersion blender, I don't know, some random things. These are oxygen absorbers that I can put in jars that I want to last longer, the food. And down here, I have not filled this one. This is still in my old kitchen. This is my kombucha drawer, all my kombucha bottles. And I have, let me tell you, I have enough to fill this drawer. And my SCOBY will come, like SCOBY Hotel will come over here. So I've reserved that drawer for them. And in here, oh, look at this, guys. You'll love this. I had told you I got these things online. These little compartments, and I was so excited about them because the Lazy Susans to me are so messy. They're so messy. And so you asked me, what are you going to do with them? Actually, I asked you, what should I do with them? And some of you told me, tell us what you end up doing. So I ended up making the the canning section. I don't quite have a space for my canners. I haven't brought them over yet either. Oh, my kids put the dishes away, so sometimes they get it wrong. But look at, I have all my different sizes here, even my gallon lids. These we use not when canning, but all the time for storing food. So that's why they're closest to the edge. This is amazing. So my canners, those are big monsters. I have 2 canners that go on the stove that I haven't used in a long time because my stove in my kitchen was so small. But I will use them again here for sure. And then I have an electric canner. I love that thing too. Those machines are big. If I have to just go somewhere to bring those out to when I'm going to can, I have no problem with that at all. But usually I have to go get those and all my supplies. So I wanted to have all my supplies for sure in the pantry, even if I don't keep my actual canners here, which is fine with me. Because once I get into canning, I keep it out on the counter and I'll use it over and over, which is why I love having a room that I don't mind keeping appliances on the counter. So that's the canning situation. I got some more lids down here. I've got my funnel. And then just a couple cleaning things. I guess I didn't need all the space. This I use for candles. Those are some fermenting lids for jars. But yeah, all my jar lid kind of things. A friend of mine, they were moving and went through all their stuff and gave me all these just unique canning jars that are so cool. And they have these glass lids. So I'm excited to use some of that kind of stuff. This sleeve is just full of canning lids. So it's all in one spot. And then my jars are right here above it. I haven't even brought all of them. I think I have some boxes of newer ones in my garage that haven't come over yet. I know I have a lot more gallon jars and half-gallon jars. And yeah, I'm just gonna fill this thing with jars. That's my plan. I got my bread box here, my mixer, and this is my bread area. I make bread all the time using these 2 machines. I use these 2 machines a lot, actually. Sometimes it can feel like every single day, and I love it. I just love having a space where they're pretty anyway, and I can keep them out, and it's amazing. Have I said that enough yet? An empty drawer. Those are just pieces to hang shelves. And these are just cookbooks. See, this is pretty much empty. So I have some rearranging to do to make it even better. I used to keep in my other kitchens, I would keep my favorite recipes, my bread recipes, things I go to all the time, taped inside my cupboard doors. But I don't have so many cupboard doors anymore, so I just got them all right there, which works actually really well. They're not flapping around every time I open a door. I'm not sure what I'll do here. Definitely could fit some jars in here, you think? This is our ice maker. It's not quite hooked up yet. And this is one of the best things. The door, the counter space, and an extra sink is just glorious. This guy washes our dirty eggs that come in. Right now it's been super muddy, so all our duck eggs are just filthy. And this guy washes our vegetables. And yeah, a lot of things happen here. In fact, this counter is honestly usually filled with drying dishes because we wash our pots and pans in the pantry. And the reason I wanted to plan it that way, everything that's hand washed basically comes to this sink. Oh, that washcloth's gross. Just pretend you didn't see that, and I'm just a perfect, aesthetically perfect vlogger. I wanted the hand wash stuff here because sometimes things really do need to soak. And I don't like seeing pots and pans soaking overnight in my kitchen. So now I don't have to see it because they're way back here. Even if I don't close the door, I don't see it. So nothing much in here. Nothing exciting, but this is exciting. Oh, Luka forgot these trash cans. Oops. But we have double trash here and double trash over in the kitchen. The big kitchen. The real kitchen. I don't know what you say. Those are some of the unique jars that I got from my friend. I'm so excited about them. Some of them are blue. I love that. That's our pancake mix. Those 2 are homemade granola. So that pancake mix is awesome. All I do is add, actually, I almost never do it. Let me say that. I almost never do it. The kids do it. They add a cup of that mixture, 3/4 cup of water, and 1 egg. And then they're making pancakes all the time. We have never been ones to buy pancake mix. So it feels dreamy because we were always making it from scratch. And I was always telling them, no, I don't feel like it. And then I discovered that mixture and we haven't looked back, and we have a lot of pancakes at our house now. Those are for my sourdough bread. Over here we've got some honey and we've got our butter. When we have our butter from our cows, we'll use that one too, which is that dish that you put it in and it like keeps it, I don't know, so cool. That's some hibiscus tea there in a jar, so I remember to try to use it. This is sugar. When Solo's making chai, it's nice for him to have it available for the kids. He makes big pots of it for the kids. This is just an extra sugar thing that's pretty. that we can put out for guests, but this is, I have it kind of hidden back there, but it is vanilla that I need to remember to tip over sometimes. We have all our mixed matched ugly mugs in a cupboard. Not ugly, they're cool, but they're in a cupboard. But I do keep a bunch of these. I think some of them are in the dishwasher. Just right here, just a bunch of our mugs and our chai pot that we pour it into. There's my scale and some of my favorite cookbooks. There's another sugar thing. Look at that, so cool. Our blender, I do love this blender. We haven't used it for 18 months. It was in the garage because we have 2 blenders. And so we left the other at the other house. Our tea kettle we use often. Invitations we don't want to forget about. We have our steak knives here. That we use steak knives for everything. I mean everything. Like you need an apple sliced, it's a steak knife. Everything is a steak knife. And Solo usually has his coffee pot. He doesn't have a coffee pot anymore. He uses this little, I don't know where it is. Oh, I think he put it in the fridge. For some reason, I saw it in here. Excuse my camera stand. Yes, it's this. He loves this. He says the coffee's better. So that's usually sitting over there too. I don't know what happened. He had extra and put it in the fridge. He had another one that was so cute in glass and he gave it away. He keeps giving them away. He's given away several coffee makers because he loves it that much. And I guess you share what you love. We have our Berkey filter on the counter. That won't be here forever. Once we get that reverse osmosis, I guess we won't need to use it all the time. But right now, it is life. We are using it all the time, and we actually fill a big glass jar and put it in the fridge too, just so we don't run out completely all the time. And it's not hard to fill. Actually, our pot filler on our stove, this guy right here, that fills it so much faster than the sink. So it's really quick and easy to fill. We just fill a gallon jar 4.5 times and it's done. We keep some of our vitamins that we need to take often behind it just to remember. You know, it's nice to have those out where you can see them. These are some aprons. This is a drying mat that we're always drying stuff on. Some bottle brushes. Oh, the almighty label maker that pooped out on me. I mean, I need to clean it or something. Okay, we're not perfect yet. This is our travel mugs, but I don't know. Some random things. It's all liquid stuff, right? Kind of, except the trash bags. I was trying to keep things out from under the sink because the plumber needs to do more work there. But I don't know why I have some things. Oh, there's some washcloths and towels and stuff. And a lot are dirty. Oh, another empty drawer. See, I could put some of that stuff. I mean, a lot of them are in the laundry, but I still think I could put a lot of them up here and probably divide them between here and the kitchen even, because the kids are always looking for them. Remember, we got the coffee maker and the hot water. So this is like our drink station. So look, he blends his coffee in the blender. We use a blender. We don't have a coffee grinder, and it works just great. And then he puts them in these vacuum sealed things that we got from our friend at Zabuni Coffee in Grand Island. And then we have our teas here. We have our homemade hot chocolate mixes. We have some electrolytes. We have some chai masala. Somebody gave us this box of hot chocolate mix. We have tea strainers. We have even Keurig cups, and we don't even have a pod kind of thing. We have a frother. Oh my God, this is the drink area. This is vitamin C that goes in our, I think we have, yep, stevia and vitamin C that goes in our homemade lemonade. This is the drink drawer. And guys, this is so funny. We actually have a drawer just for all our cheese graters. Ta-da! This is not a kitchen tour. This is just the pantry. But I'm going to show you one drawer in the kitchen because it's mostly pots and pans and dishes and boring stuff. Oh, I have one other section too. I'll show you a little more of our food. We are an ingredient household. That's what my sons are like. We're an ingredient household. Because you got to put stuff together. And it can be annoying when you're really hungry sometimes. But we do keep some quick and easy things, pre-made things. So I'll show you that first. And then I'm gonna show you the one really cool drawer in the kitchen that's not boring. So there's this pantry, and there is a reason behind my madness. There's a pantry next to our fridge. It's just like a cupboard, and it goes, all our cupboards go really high. Oh, those are all empty, by the way. But I wanted this stuff behind closed doors because I just didn't want the kids to see it all the time. They know where it is. No problem, they know where it is, but it is better to not have it in their sight constantly, and it's worked really well, actually. These two shelves I will fill with chips. There are chips that we get those off of Azure Standard in bulk. I think there's a box of chips missing somewhere, but I don't know where, because I thought I had more than this, but Anyway, we'll keep ordering them. For a while, I went through a phase. I had more left over in my grocery budget, and so I was getting this mac and cheese, and so we have a lot of it. I haven't had to buy it for a long time, and we do eat it here and there. We eat it more special occasions, or if I have to run somewhere and one of the kids just unexpectedly is babysitting, they'll be like, "Can I make mac and cheese?" Yes, sure, do whatever you want. These are lollipops. These are popular. They have one probably once a day. I do love having those around. And then Lara bars. A lot of my kids don't like these. They're like made with just a few simple ingredients. I think they're great for them, and I would like them to be able to grab the one on their way out the door. But I will say Peace loves them. She wants one all the time. So we still keep them around, and they're good. There's my dark chocolate back there. These are our meat sticks that we get. Those are some Kenyan treats, like chip treats that are so good. We got some of these type of crackers on Amazon. These from Azure Standard, and those Annie's. The kids do love those. They come from Amazon. And then we got a bunch of those squeeze things. You've seen those in my grocery haul from Azure Standard. Those are more mac and cheese that I bought quite a while ago. And Triscuits, we haven't bought those for a long time. They're only like 2 boxes. I used to have a ton. I had stocked up a lot. So it's nice to have these cupboards closable. We like that. And it works out really good in our house. Have some good snacks. And finally, the long-awaited interesting drawer. I have a whole drawer for fermenting things, guys. Can you believe that? I have cheesecloths. I have these like fermenting heavyweight things that go down like that. That's a heating pad that sometimes I put under my bread, or if I want it a little warmer in here and it's not warm enough. And then I have this fabulous thing that holds a gallon of milk, and I put it in the fridge after I make yogurt. So I make a gallon at a time, and it strains it out, and it's the thickest, creamiest, and I use full fat milk most of the time. And it is amazing yogurt. It's so good, homemade and creamy, and I strain out a lot of the whey, give it to some of the animals, and they love the whey too. So it's so funny that I have a whole fermentation drawer. The one above is empty. See, she put some washcloths and towels in there too. All right, guys, that's it. That's my super exciting pantry tour. I have such a beautiful view, but you can't see it right now. I love the view from both directions, actually. That'll have to be for another day. If you'd like to see other tours up close like this, I don't know if it's interesting to you guys or not, or if it's just like, bleh, I don't like it. You can tell me that too. I won't be offended. I could give you a tour of our laundry room, which would be like our, what do you call it? The word is words. Toiletries that we stock up on. Emergency things like our flashlights and batteries and all the emergency things that we keep, and our pet supplies right now is what we're storing in there, plus laundry things. So I could give you a tour of that. There's so much space in there. I'm not quite done with it, but there might be room for my canners, and that's just right around the corner. So I could give you a fridge tour. We have a massive 2-door fridge. And yeah, that's all I can think about right now that you might want a tour of. So let me know. Oh, kids' closets. I could show you that, and how I just spent the whole day. How did I forget that? I spent the whole day organizing 4 little girls' clothes, and I think I organized it in a way that will be very, very low maintenance and keep it clean. So I'm hoping, here's to hoping. Maybe if it works out and stays clean, then I'll show you. So let me know if you're interested in those. Thank you guys so much for watching, for being here, for being so excited for us. I just appreciate it. Every once in a while I see a nasty, like, just like, oh, you shouldn't have all that, whatever kind of comment. And then it is so few and far between. You guys have been so amazing through this whole process, just supporting us and being like our cheerleaders. And we're just very thankful. We're very thankful on so many levels. So thank you. And we will talk to you in the next video. Bye.